I'm Dr. Sean Huddleston, and it is my pleasure to welcome you. We are ready and waiting to introduce you to the Martin Nation and all of the wonderful things that make Martin University faculty, staff, students, and alumni proud of this wonderful institution. Go Martin!
Happy Friday. Welcome to Let's Talk Live with Martin U, the live podcast bringing much needed community conversations to the table. Let's Talk with Martin U is an exciting, reverent, and educational podcast that digs deep into current topics, community involvement, and stories of our alumni successes that only Martin University can deliver. I am Antia King, and joining me today is Director of Student and Alumni Engagement, Marva Hunt. Thank
Good
you for joining me
afternoon.
today.
Thank you.
How are you on this beautiful, kind of chilly Friday?
Well, I'm excited to be at Martin and looking forward to the upcoming holidays.
Nice. So let's get right into it. I want everyone in the Martin Communiversity to know who you are and your background. So let's start there.
Well, I'll start with my first affiliation with Martin University, and that was as a student. So I'm a proud Martin alum from the class of 1998. I got a bachelor's degree in business administration. And I was so taken in by the Martin University family, and I had a great mentor who encouraged me to further my education beyond Martin and to come back to Martin and teach. So I'm also a former employee who just returned back to Martin about a month ago. And I have also had the honor of being a Martin University trustee. So I am all Martin. I am all in alum, employee, trustee, whatever I can do that's Martin related, I do.
And what drew you to attending Martin University in 1999?
Well, I wasn't really drawn personally. So my mom had asked me to go out shopping with her on a Saturday, and I was super excited. And we hopped in the car and we were ended up over on 22nd and Sherman Drive at this building. I said, well, this is Martin. Are they having a sale over here? Is this where we're shopping? And she said, no, ma'am, you're going in to register for school. She said, I'm tired of you just, putting this off. So you're going in to register. And I was in my mid 20s. So I was not happy, but I was obedient. So we came in and I got registered and started classes, and I fell in love immediately.
Nice. And what did you teach here at Martin?
So I started teaching in 1999, I believe it was, while I was actually completing my master's degree. So they let me come in and team teach with some business instructors while I was completing my degree. And by the time I finished, I knew that this was what I wanted to do full time, and was fortunate enough to be hired to work as a vice program chair for the School of Business. And from there, I went on and was promoted to several positions throughout my tenure here at Martin. But teaching has truly been my passion.
Nice. And where else have you taught at or had an interest in teaching?
So Martin was my foundation, and it gave me an opportunity to be able to move into other positions. And my first position when I left Martin was at Ivy Tech Community College, and I was the program chair for business administration there. And later was a department head for business and 5 other departments. And from there, business at IUPUI, and was the director for undergraduate programs, and really loved that position and the exposure that I got. But I really missed working directly with students. I wasn't in a faculty position there. So getting back to having that contact, direct contact with students, is what I was looking for, and that's what drew me back to Martin University.
Nice. And within this role, how is your engagement with students? What do you look forward to with this role?
So it's pretty broad. I actually have the opportunity to interact with students from the time they're admitted through registrations and enrollment, and even the retention, just keeping in contact with students, keeping them engaged and motivated throughout their journey here. And then
Nice.
on the other end, I also do alumni engagement. So once they finish and are alums, we still get to interact and engage.
What would you like to see within that alumni engagement since you are over that? And I know the pandemic in 2020 kind of changed the narrative of how we do interact with alumni. How would you like to turn that around going into 2023?
So I would definitely like to see us do more in-person engagement. And I would like to see us have a better mix of alums from the 80s and 90s, and even those from the 2000s, 2020, because we have such a broad spectrum of students in age range, backgrounds, interests, and wanting to bring all of them together for the common interest of furthering the mission of Martin University. So, a lot more in person interaction, intentional things that will bring our alumni back to Martin and to support our current students.
When you say bring them back to Martin, how would you like to see that? How do you display that to everyone to see or to envision, I should say?
Well, I think a good start was the homecoming that we had just in last month, October, and it was an alumni focused event, and a lot of alumni did come out for that. So I'm having some on-campus events because a lot has changed here since some of
Mhm.
our alum have come, and they're great things. So I would like to see them actually come onto campus to see the great things that are going on. But then we can also do off-campus events that are perhaps sponsored that get people involved and just get them thinking about Martin University again and realizing all the great things that go on and continue to support us. So, we would like to have some game nights, some alumni competitions where which class comes out and has the best turnout or does the best performance. So, just some fun things. Martin has always been had a family atmosphere, and
Mhm.
I would like to continue to cultivate that through our alums so that we can embrace our current students.
Nice. I know you just mentioned you were at Ivy Tech and you took
Mhm.
on a few roles there. What were your thoughts when you discovered, or if you did not know, Martin University partners with Ivy Tech? What did you think of that before you transitioned back to Martin University?
I was super excited. That actually kind of helped to propel me to want to come back to Martin, realizing that they are doing things now that we haven't done before, that we're being recognized more throughout the city, and we're getting the partnerships that we've deserved for a very long time. And having had the interaction with Ivy Tech and knowing how great their programs are, knowing how great Martin's programs are, I just saw it as a really good partnership and one that I would like to be involved in some way. So I'm open to however that can happen. But yes, it's super, super exciting to see those relationships start to blossom.
Nice. And are you still communicating with people at Ivy Tech? Maybe trying to bring them on over to Martin?
Well,
How does that look?
I'm always a recruiter. Wherever I
Mm-hmm.
work, I say I'm always a recruiter 24 hours a day. So you may see me in the grocery store and I'll say, "Hey, do you have a degree?" And if the answer is no, then I'm going to try to encourage you to come to the best institution for you. So I'm actually still an adjunct for Ivy Tech. So I do still teach some classes over there occasionally. So I get exposure to their students. And yes, I encourage them once they have completed their associate's degree at Ivy Tech to come and get that bachelor's degree here at Martin University.
Nice. You, I'm pretty sure, remember back in April this year, you
Mhm.
attended a gala. And can you tell me about that gala and who hosted it? And I think you may have been receiving an award.
Oh my gosh, The gala was, for lack of a better term, off the chain. It was everything I imagined it would be and more. So the gala was opened with the Central State Marching Band, and they were excellent. I mean, it was just so unexpected, and it just was the perfect way to kick it off. They came with energy. The dancers were perfect. So it kicked off with that, and then one of the MCs, I heard this voice coming over the PA, and it actually like affected me physically, like my heart jumped a little bit, and it was nostalgic. I was like, I know that voice, and it was Barbara Boyd, who had been on television through my childhood, a nice chunk of my childhood. So it was nice to hear her voice, just familiar, kind of bringing things
Hmm.
together. And then the real host comes out, and it is the one and only Ricky Smiley, who we had no idea was going to be there. So that was quite the surprise. And then the surprises just kept going on throughout the night. The venue was beautiful. I was honored to get an award that night, and it was quite a blessing that I was able to have both of my parents there, who have watched me through this journey at Martin, and really my mom being the reason that I ever went to Martin. So it was very special for me to have them there. But the gala, I talked about it for weeks. It was beautiful, beautiful.
Nice. And what was the award that you received?
It was an a distinguished alumni award. They called it the Wings Award, and it's given to alumni who have shown, I guess, activity in the community professionally and to Martin University. So to have that type of recognition from President Huddleston and the rest of the Martin University community was very humbling, and it really felt like coming full circle from being a student to being recognized as an alum.
Nice. I know you said it came full circle, so I can expect to see you at next year's gala on the 28th of April.
Certainly, yes. I wouldn't miss it for the world. And Martin has had some other signature events. Just last month, I attended the First Lady's tea, and it was a beautiful, beautiful afternoon that recognized the accomplishments of women here in the city. And it was just a wonderful afternoon and opportunity to be able to partake in fellowship with some wonderful women in the city and with our First Lady of Martin University.
Nice. I love
Yeah,
that. I'm really excited for your role. You definitely sound passionate about what you do, which is really good because that's what we need. We need
yeah,
people that want to give back to the community and pay things forward and see that shine on somebody else. That, how your mother helped you and guide you to Martin University, no telling who you're inspiring right now that may be watching or that just witnesses you and watches you from afar, that you might have gravitate to Martin University. So I think that's really, really cool. I
yeah.
cannot wait to see everything that you have planned for the alumni and the engagement that you do. What are your plans for your role going into 2023? I know you just started, but you sound like the person that gets on board with things and get it going. So I know you're going to have something planned already, even though you just got here.
Yeah, so I have my little notebook, and I'm of course looking at things from both the student side and the alumni side. And the main thing that I want to do with our alumni is to reach out to let them know that Martin is still here. Martin still loves them. Martin still needs them. And even though we might have gotten off track Because yes, the pandemic just really changed everything, and so we're still trying to get grounded from that, get back on a regular schedule. We used to have monthly alumni meetings, and we still continue those even though they were virtually. Well, now we'd like to get back to bringing those back on campus in 2023 to get people back over here. We'll have new elections in 2023 because we want all of our alum to be involved, even our most recent alums. So we want to get some new officers initiated, and really the alumni are the ones who are really responsible for the Alumni Association. So you can have a coordinator like myself, but it's really those folks who are the ones that are really the heart of the association. And they're the ones that a lot of times will help drive the things that we do. So we want to make sure that we are being active and trying to sponsor and support scholarships for our students. That was a big role that the Alumni Association had in the past, and I'd like to get back to that where the alums can offer scholarships annually to our current students and to become maybe mentors, have a mentor program where alums mentor current students. And we can sponsor several events per year on campus that would involve both alumni and current students. So I've got a couple of things in mind. And we definitely want to, I would like to have them here at the beginning of every semester for alums to just be here on campus to provide assistance, guidance, and direction to our new students on campus, and to have a huge role in every commencement because that's the biggest day of the year for Martin University. It is for our students and it should be for our alums. And I want them to come out and party and support our graduates and to invite them into the Alumni Association with welcoming arms and make them a part of this. We have a very large number of graduates, and we want to get more and more of them involved on a regular basis.
Nice. I know Martin University is considered non-traditional because it does include adult learners. So everyone's on a
Mhm.
different schedule. There's no necessarily like a young audience how it would be at like a Butler or an IU where everybody's congregated in one area. How do
True.
you plan to target the audience, which is alumni, with the
Mhm.
different ages and different dimensions that we have? Some people may be tech savvy and be on social media, others may not even use a smartphone. How do you plan to get that type of engagement across for all alumni?
So, in communications with our alum, we have to be able to mobilize several different types of media, several different types of outreach. So, we know that one way to do that is to have a very solid database. So, that's one of the first things that we're trying to do is to build a current, accurate database of our alums so we know where they are and how best to contact them. So most of our outreach will include all forms of media, phone calls, email, social media, whatever we can. Whatever we can mobilize to contact people. So we know there will be no one method. And then I think one of the best ways for us is word of mouth. So a lot of us have our own little Martin networks that we have kept up
Hmm.
with forever. And I think that making sure that people are spreading the word just among our personal networks will be a huge benefit for us. But yeah, we know that we have alums from their 20s to their 80s, even. So we're going to have to be very intentional about how we reach those masses. And we'll do it through several ways, whatever it takes.
I like that. So, the people that are on social media and you want them to spread the word, how can they find out the details for Martin alumni? Is there a page? Is there an association? Is there something that they can join so they can stay up to date to everything alumni?
There is a Martin University Alumni Association page on Facebook. And of course, our Martin University, just our overall Martin University website and our social media pages are always updated with our current events. So the best thing to do is to stay in touch with Martin University through our social media avenues that we advertise regularly. Tune into the podcast um, every every opportunity that you can, and we will update the information. We'll try to keep that out there in as many ways as possible. But following us on our current social media avenues is the best way to keep abreast of our current events.
Nice. Those who are watching right now, how can they contact you? If they're an alumni and they have not reached out to Martin University in years, or they just want to be involved again, or a student or somebody that's interested to come into Martin, how can they contact you?
Well, I'm available. My email here at Martin University is mhunt, so my first initial last name, at martin.edu. And I check that email daily, well, Monday through Friday. Honestly, I check it on the weekend too. Um, but they can feel free to reach out to me through that way. Happen to not have that access, they can always give me a call at the university. My direct number is 317-917-3405, or they could always just call the Martin front desk and they could direct them.
Nice. Do you have anything you'd like to share before we wrap things up today on Let's Talk Live?
I think what I would like to share, my call to action would be for anyone that has not completed their college degree to come over and check out the opportunities at Martin University. The experience here was really priceless. It's really hard to explain, but I say the proof is in the pudding. I graduated in 98 and I'm still around. What I say about Martin is I just can't quit Martin. It keeps me coming back, and it prepared me for all of the wonderful things that have happened in my life since then. So, had it not been for getting a Martin degree, I, of course, would not have been able to pursue a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that master's degree at Indiana Wesleyan University, and I was so well prepared for that degree because of my educational experiences at Martin. And then because of those degrees, I was able to get a position where I had dreamt of working for business. And it was an honor to get the position. But one of the greatest things was being able to thank our founder of Martin University, who was here when I was both a student and an employee the first time. And I was able to thank him for just creating Martin University and giving me an opportunity to get an education that I really didn't feel like that I would do as an adult. And because of that, I had all these other wonderful things happen to me. So, for anyone who is in doubt, who hasn't finished their degree, put Martin University on your agenda for 2023. Come and check us out because we've got some great things going on. And I'm super excited to be here and would happily welcome anyone who wants to come and be a part of the Martin University family.
Well said. I hope you continue getting your flowers from Martin and as you give them back to Martin University. So I thank you so much, Miss Marva Hunt, for joining me on Let's Talk Live with Martin U. And
Thank
thank
you
you
for
all that
having me.
are watching. Yes, thank you all for watching us today. And thank you again, Miss Hunt, for sharing your knowledge and expertise with the Martin University community. I'm your guest host, Aunt Tia King, and I'll see you same place, same time next week, right here on Let's Talk Live with Martin U. Bye.
How I actually got to Martin was not an easy road. When I graduated high school, I was making money, I had a good job, but at my job, I discovered that I wanted to move up, and the only way I could do that was to earn a degree. The day I came in for my orientation totally changed my mind about Martin. I knew this was what I wanted to do. Martin has always been a family, and my family became part of the Martin family too. There were times when things got rough. It was difficult at times. The Martin faculty and staff, they always understood, and those people continued to support me when I needed it. Martin University is an awesome place because it will allow you to live out the dreams that you may not have even known were there.